Hey everyone, it's Devin, and welcome to another episode of An Emo Girl's Guide to the Galaxy, where we debate, rant, and curse too much. If you like books and sarcasm and hate the patriarchy, then you've come to the right place. And today we have a special guest host because Erin is off living her best life on vacation. So I want to introduce my book friend, Steph.
Yay!
Hi.
Hi guys. Thank you so much for having me. This is my first ever podcast, so I am super excited. And as a full-on book nerd and emo since birth, this is the best one I could do. So it makes sense to join this one. So yeah, I'm super pumped. Thank you for having me. I met Dev through Bookstagram, obviously, as all great friendships start. But it was through we did like a Kardashian link up somehow, right?
Yes. From what I remember, because it was so long ago,
Honestly.
I posted a video with the Kardashian sound, and then you messaged me, and you were like, "I love the Kardashians. Like, I need more sounds. I need more reels with Kardashian sounds." And then we ended up doing one together, and
It's
now
so
we talk every
the
day.
opposite of being an emo girl to be like the Kardashians.
I love that though.
One of them is marrying Travis Barker, so
Yeah.
I feel like it works.
She's now.
Yeah.
We're gonna adopt her.
We'll let her
fine.
into the crew. It's fine. I mean, I'm salty about it, but whatever. It's fine. Like, just she does the emo style better than I do, but it's fine. Okay.
I know it's so disappointing for
I'll
me.
go for
That's
it.
what money will do, though.
Yeah.
This is what I tell myself to make myself feel better. Yeah, but I guess like little about me. I have been reading since like ever, literally like with the usual kind of suspects like Harry Potter, stuff like that. And then as a teen, obsessed with JLA. She took up far too much of my time as a teenager. Like it was either like JLA or go drink in a park, but never any homework. So sorry, mom. Sorry about that. I turned out okay.
It works.
And then yeah, like absolutely love music. I have a really eclectic taste, but my heart and soul belongs to kind of pop punk and alternative. And the quickest way to become my friend is to compliment me on my music taste or ask me for music recos, because I'm obsessed. So yeah, and as a Leo, I think I'm going to be pretty good at the topic of this week because
I love it.
I
I
am
love
fiery.
Yeah.
Like it is. I am fiery. There's some stuff I do not subscribe to on the Leo thing. I'm going to be honest. Like, but the fiery nature, it's definitely there, and I know Dev will tell you that for sure. So yeah, I think chatting about unpopular opinions that we stand by. I'm ready.
That's awesome.
I'm
Yes.
ready.
So as everyone can see, Steph is going to fit right in with this group.
I love it. It's perfect. Okay, so I'm Jess, and I'm going to give you some bookish emo world updates. Soon this week, I guess Tuesday, City of Dusk by Tara Sim is coming out. So this is set in a gorgeous world of bone and shadow magic, of vengeance gods, and defiant chosen ones. The City of Dusk follows the 4 heirs of 4 noble houses, each gifted with a divine power, as they form a tenuous alliance to keep their kingdom from descending into realm-shattering war. So that sounds right up all of our alleys.
I'm so excited.
I really loved her her other series that was like the Count of Monte Cristo play on one. That was a really good series, so I'm excited about this one. Also, The Bone Orchard by Sara A. Mueller, which is a fascinating whodunit set in a lush gothic world of secrets and magic, where a dying emperor charges his favorite concubine with solving his own murder and preventing the culprit, which undoubtedly is one of the 3 terrible sons, from taking control of an empire. So that's like, this one's an adult fantasy, and it's like supposed to be super gothic. It's got a big skull hand on the cover
that
and
sounds really
flowers
good.
and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I'm kind of upset because I should have picked it for my book of the month club choice, and I didn't. I picked something else, and now I don't know how I feel about that. The other exciting news, the biggest news of this week, is that Bridgerton season 2 is coming out on the 25th.
Yay!
On Netflix.
I can't
so
wait.
we're all kind of just like,
I can't wait for Deb to watch it and
Yes.
get all
I
of her
know.
reactions.
After reading
I
all
have
the
to,
books.
for all the Bridgerton fans out there, we will be doing an episode or two on Bridgerton, and I am definitely going to be taking notes because I've read all the books, and we'll come at you with, this is what they did differently, and this is what I needed to be added in, so I will have
I think
notes.
Deb is going to be salty. I want to call it now before it happens.
Probably.
Specifically for the background characters, I think they're going to make her salty.
The books are just done so differently than the show, which, like, I think is in a good way, because in the show they brought in,
I love
like,
the show.
all of the characters at once, so all the storylines are starting to form, because that's how TV shows happen, where the books are so solitary on those couples, and, like, there's not a lot of relationship building behind the scenes. In the show there is, and so it's, I like it.
I love
I
it
don't know if
too.
you're going to be salty or not, but I really like the way
The
they did
one
it.
thing I already am salty about, though, that I had to ask, I already know, like, who, well,
Oh, yeah.
it was, they,
Who it
yes,
is.
they announced or they revealed who, what's her name? The writer? Lady,
Yeah.
whatever her name is.
Lady
Lady
Web.
Whistle,
The Gossip
Lady
Girl.
Whistledown. Lady Whistledown. There you go.
There you go.
They revealed Lady Whistledown at the end of season 1. And I had to ask because I was reading the books as everybody was watching the show, because I'm that person that says I need to read the books before I watch anything so I can compare. And they don't reveal Lady Whistledown in the books until book 4, because it's a major part of the plot line in book 4. So when they get to that specific couple in the show, if they get that far, I'm very interested to see what happens, because it literally is like the basis of that book for the most part.
Yeah.
So
It'll be kind of interesting to see how that works out.
we will see. We shall see. I will save this for another episode. But
I'm waiting for the
I'm
rants.
excited.
I'm waiting for the rants. I can't wait. I know you're
Yes.
going to rant about it. I'm the worst Brit ever. I've never even seen it.
We can watch it together. We can watch it together.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll watch it together.
All right, I'm Loretta, and it's time for our personal updates that we always do. So we can just go around and say what's happening with us right now.
So I haven't read in a week or two.
I haven't either.
And like, okay, I have been listening to 2 audiobooks actually. So to say I haven't read is maybe not fair. But they're witchcraft books. They're like audio witchy books, and yeah, so they're like on visualization and meditation and all sorts of stuff. And so I just have been doing that thing instead of actually reading fiction. So, or I'm sure some people call it fiction. So, whatever. I did also get really wrapped up this last week in all of, like, not in talking about it, but like watching it unfold. There was like this massive string of Twitter drama about Nazi romances, and I just like,
I know.
I had to watch it because I was like, this can't really be still happening. And it is. And so I got all amped up about it, and I was like, no, let's put Twitter to the side. Let's just log out for a second because you don't belong here right now. So yeah, it's just really frustrating. My last little bit is that I was watching Taylor Tomlinson's new stand-up special on Netflix, and I don't remember what it was called, but it's like all about mental health and stuff, and it's so dark, and I loved every second of it. I was laughing so hard. Like, if you don't have mental health issues, it may not be as funny, but for me, I'm laughing the whole time. So yeah, it was really good, but that's kind of what I've been up to this week.
I've been moving, so my life is nothing but chaos. So I've been reading Crescent City, and I've eked a little bit. I'm at the part where I stopped before.
You made it.
Yeah. Because last time I read it, and then, can I say it? It's been a long time since it came out, but something happens in the beginning,
Yeah.
and I was like, I need to take a minute after it happened, and then I just never went back. So I'm at that part now,
Yeah.
and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to finish it, but it's taken me a while.
Like, it only goes up from here. You know?
Yeah.
The first part of that book, I think, is the most traumatic.
Yeah.
But Like, it's not an easy ride, but it does only go
I was
up
like,
from
I need a break, and then I just never.
You
the
need
break
to
never
finish
ended.
it to get to book 2. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Steph hasn't
Yeah.
finished. You
You
haven't
need-
finished book 2 yet, right?
No, no. The
Okay.
last that we like spoke about it, I've not moved from that spot. Like I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe like 250 pages in, and then yeah, I put it down because I was like, I speed read everything. Like it's not unusual for me to like read a book in a day. Obviously not one that big, but I was like, no, I put that down. I'm gonna take this slow. I'm gonna take it steady, and then I took it so slow that I stopped. So
That's me.
That's what I do. I'm a speed reader too, so if I put something down, it's probably not getting back in my hands for a while.
it's bad.
But I also wanted to mention my Apple Music is finally getting on board with our emo-ness because it recommended me a song, I think it's a remix of Bad Habits, and it's with Bring Me the Horizon, and it's so good.
I love the
It's
way
like
you
the
said "Bring Me the
emo
Horizon." Then you're
rock
like,
version.
"Bring me the horizon." Is that?
Do they belong on this song? Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, Bring Me the Horizon and Ed
Well,
Sheeran.
like, if you had told me Ed Sheeran and Bring Me the Horizon were going to do a song together, I would have had questions about your sanity, so
Yeah.
what a lovely surprise.
Yes, such a good version. Love it.
So look it up.
Yeah, I
because
really
it's
liked
awesome.
I have had a little bit less chaotic of a week, I think, except for the fact that I still cannot find my AirPods. I've lost them and I don't know where they are. But in other good news, I did get my special edition Romantasy box from Once Upon a Book Club box. And the reason why I got this particular box is because it was a hardcover super special edition of a fantasy romance book called The North Wind. And I haven't read it, but when I looked it up and I found the synopsis, I was like, this needs to be something that I own. It's a standalone, but it's going to be part of a larger series of standalone books, and it is
My favorite.
and yes, and it is apparently a Beauty and the Beast meets Hades and Persephone vibe thing going on.
Ooh.
And I'm super excited to read this book. Once I get through all of my arcs, that's what's happening, and I will let everybody know how it is.
As you're suffocating underneath them.
I have so many
Yeah, I
arcs.
want to hear about it. Yeah.
I will have an update
You're
soon.
you're buried right now.
Yeah.
I've like got one or two. And I'm like, okay.
I'm reading Wild as a Witch right now. That's my first arc, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think we all would actually really enjoy it. It's set in the Pacific Northwest, so very rainy, gloomy, foresty vibes, and the main character is a witch, so obviously
Sold.
it's amazing.
Heck
I'm
yeah,
in.
yeah.
If it's about witches, you know I'm already
Yes.
in. I'm there. Sold.
All right, Steph, what's up with you?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I'm also feeling my emo song vibes. I'm actually listening to Yumi at Six Suckapunch album, a lot of them in it. It's not like a super new album, but it's got a lot of main character energy songs on it. So like if you're looking for an album to just make you
The
kind
best
of
kind of songs.
oh yeah, like wanna
We are always looking for a main character.
Yeah.
you want to like walk out your door and punch someone in the face, like there's a song for that. Like, you want to just like finish that workout, there's a song for that. Like it's really really good, and there's some like tasty lyrics to kind of get in your feels with, which is really really good. I've been doing a bit of a reread because speaking of arcs, I'll have some coming towards the end of this month. So I've been rereading one of my favorite authors, Jay Bree, has a paranormal like fantasy romance reverse harem, just saying all of the tropes series.
Love it.
Like how to describe it. It's called the Bonds That Tie series, and there's 3 books out so far, so the 4th one's going to come this month, and I'm on the ARC team, which is super super exciting for me because she's one of my favorite indie authors, and this series is just it's unreal. It's so good. It's so good. If you haven't read it, highly recommend.
I haven't, and now I want it.
Yeah,
I need it.
it's like I mean, all the dark, twisty alpha holes you could like shake a stick at,
I love
and
Alpha holes,
like,
yes.
oof, and just
I love it.
oh,
You
it's
just
perfect.
sold everybody. You sold everybody on this.
We're all like going out to like one click buy these books.
I'm like, I mean, I'm pretty sure
Book
they're on
Bud,
like
come on.
Kindle Unlimited as well. So get it, like, hit that, like, read now.
Oh
but-
yes, I have like one more month left.
And then like in other news, I don't know if people know, but I have my own bookish business. It is called Red Rebel. It's actually a combination of bookish things and elder emo things, just like this podcast. So
The best combo there is.
right, in my mind at least. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts today that's more emo
Oh, I
inspired,
love
which is
that.
just kind of low life repeated in different colors.
That's so cute.
Thank you. I wore it to a festival recently, and that was amazing. But yeah, so I've been working on one of the first collections, which is like Red Rebel Academy. So taking all of those kind of bookish schools that we know and love and creating kind of wearable merch for it, which has been really exciting. And I actually got official approval from Sarah J. Maas's team to license some stuff. So that's
Oh my
my
god, yeah.
big news, which
That's
is
so exciting.
super exciting. And I'm like, oh my god, it's real.
Take my money.
Seriously.
I'm
though.
an
Yeah, I've already
adult.
bought a few things.
And it's real. So yeah, if anybody wants to check it out, it's at Red Rebel UK is the handle, and more exciting stuff's coming soon. And I'm going to be looking for reps soon, just saying. So
Yay.
But we'll put links in the notes
Yes.
for the show to the site so that
Yeah.
you can look
yay,
at that
thanks
stuff. So
guys.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so I will wrap things up and start our main topic of conversation today, which is unpopular bookish opinions that we all stand by. Unpopular opinions in general, but most of mine are bookish. I feel like going through our notes, we all have mostly bookish ones.
I was laughing because I was looking at the notes for this episode, and it was like we all had like a few bullet points, and then Dev's was like 17.
I just had to be thorough.
Who's the Virgo?
It made me laugh.
All right, well, maybe some of those 17 will start riots with some people. I don't know. Let's go through them. I can start off with one.
It's a long list.
Yeah, I also think that we all have very different opinions, so this should be a really fun episode because we talk about this stuff on the side, but everybody listening to us argue over like our favorite characters and why they're better is going to be so fun.
I'm
But
ready.
I'll
Oh
start
yeah,
off
me and Dev go back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah.
We do, because you and I are like polar opposites.
Yeah, it's weird because we're so similar, but when it comes to specific things, we're very different. So
We get attached to very different people.
yeah.
I feel like we needed one of those like bells that they have in a boxing ring, like ready for this. Like we need that sound.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay. Well, the first one I have on my list, I'll start off, I think, with a lower hanging one that won't offend too many people, is that I will not finish a book. So even if I don't like something, I have to finish it because I feel like I've already wasted my time starting it. And at that point, I need to know how it ends. So I'm just going to finish it so that way I can say that I finished it and also have all of the information to say, this is why this is not a good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that. I will put that book down if I don't like it. It's
I was
going.
just saying, I'm the complete opposite.
I'll get it out of my house.
Throw that thing.
I still have the Winners Trilogy book on my shelf, even though I hate those books. I still have them. Why? I don't know.
I used to be exactly the same. I was like, no, I've started, so I'll finish. And like, so that point that you said of like, I can now tell you that it was crap. And I have evidence because I read the whole thing. Like it didn't get better. It didn't get better. But like now
It does not get better.
I'm setting boundaries with myself. So I will not waste my time. Like unless it's
Good
like
for
an
you.
arc. If it's an arc, then you kind of have to, you're like, oh, okay, like it's not what I thought it was going to be, which that always sucks because then you have to like write a
That's
review.
the worst.
It sucks. But I'm getting better at setting boundaries with myself. Less guilt of not finishing. I'll be like, no. there was better books waiting for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will just put that thing down and say, boy, bye.
Throw it out the window.
No. If anybody needs anyone to rage read books for them, just send them to me because I will do it. I'll read them all just because I have to.
I'll read them all.
Yeah, I will. Okay, now I think to balance out the conversation, I'm gonna go between like lesser conflicting topics to the more conflicting topics.
Oh,
so my next one is gonna be that love triangles need to die, and I hate love triangles, except for Jennifer L. Armentrout's love triangles in The Dark Elements.
Amen.
Other than that, including the Infernal Devices, they need to go away. I do not accept any love triangles.
I'm mostly on board with this. Sometimes I feel it depends. It depends how they're done, but yeah, I'm mostly over it.
Yeah, it depends on how they're done.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm like that.
I don't care.
It's not something, I don't know that I have like a full opinion on this, because occasionally I'm like, all right, this is adding to the dimension of it and I kind of like it, but sometimes if they're just not done well, or like, I don't know. When you talk about the Dark Elements, I have some feelings about the Dark Elements. I have feels about that one that I'm not going to get into.
Is it the love triangle, or is it just like the other stuff?
Well, like part of it is the love triangle, because like I understand why it was done the way it was done, but I just didn't like that she took a vote and then chose to write the last book about whoever won the vote. I forget about
that. I pretend that didn't happen.
I can't get it out of my head.
I remember when that did happen, and it was the most tense moment of my life.
It was set up differently. Like, I think if she had been just writing it from her own, I don't think it would have gone the direction it went, which is what surprises me, because the way that the book was going. But anyway, it's a whole thing.
See, this could be another episode too, because
that's where we don't agree on that.
I don't agree with that. I think the way that it was written, it was very clearly set up a way that she had it in her mind.
I think she ended up with the right person.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that was the way that she was going to write it.
I have issues with her writing in those books.
I love them. I love them.
Gives me... I love them. But I can love them... Like, that's my issue with Jennifer L. Armentrout all the time. It's like, I love her. I love the books. I'm going to read all of them. I read Lux series. Like, I'm going to read all of them. But I'm going to be angry about the plumbing and stuff. I'm so upset about the plumbing in A Shadow in the Ember. I got too fixated. I love that book. Obsessed with it. It's way high on my shelves.
I think.
But the plumbing issues. Yeah.
I think for me, like they're really hard to do, right? Like love triangles are hard to do. So the majority of them are trash. They're trash. And I'm like you. I kind of almost don't care. Like, I don't mind as long as I win. So, because I always
my thing with love triangles, yes, my thing with love triangles is that
I don't care.
It's unrealistic when it happens in a specific way. And I'm gonna use the Infernal Devices, and I'm gonna make a lot of people upset. But just know, I am the trashiest Cassandra Clare fan out there. Like, I am obsessed with Shadowhunters. I will reread every single series for days. But the love triangle in Infernal Devices is trash. Why? Because there was a clear winner. There was a clear winner from book 1, and you cannot tell me.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Dev, put away your PowerPoint presentation.
I can write a full page. I can write a 30-page paper on this, but you cannot tell me that
write a thesis on this.
Didn't love one of the boys more than the other, and have one just be a backup plan. Like, there's no way. There's no way that you can convince me that she had equal feelings for them, and she was like, well, okay, I don't know which one to pick. No, she knew which one she wanted, and they didn't want her, and she was like, fine, I'm gonna go choose this other person who likes me more than you do, and I'm just gonna be chill and see what happens. Like, that's my issue with love triangles. There's always a clear winner. Like,
there's always a loser, and as long as it's like, not me, I'm happy.
Oh, who do I choose? I don't know who I like more. Like, no, please.
I would just like to thank everyone for coming to our 1-hour dissertation.
You're too heated on that particular love triangle. Nobody say the words like Infernal Devices,
I'm done.
Love triangle around Dev ever again. There's like a band.
Yes.
They never to be mentioned.
I can't. Anyway, that's my hot take on love triangles. Please let them go away forever.
I'm gonna throw one of mine out here to get us out of
Yes.
I hate cry porn books.
You need to explain cry porn to everybody.
So like The Fault in Our Stars or whatever, all the like the books about cancer that are like just made to make you cry, where the purpose of the book is like to just get all these deep feelings out, and you're like, okay, why do I want to, I don't know, all those books that they make movies about.
Like P.S. I Love You and
they make movies about.
The books where the trailer always has a really sad song in it.
Yeah. And
well, they're emo as shit.
Who's that author who wrote The Notebook?
Well, but they're emo in such a fake way to me, because they're just trying to like devastate you on purpose, and like I go to music for that. That's my outlet for that. I don't need to, if I need to look at like sad things in life, I can turn on the news. I don't want to do it in a book, and that's just like I like a tragic ending, say Song of Achilles, but that's not a cry porn book. That's just a good book. So I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to read a book about little kids with cancer and stuff. I'm just.
If I know a book's gonna make me
Atonement.
Cry.
Oh God, yeah.
That's a weird one. I don't think I like hate them, like, but I don't read that type of a book. Like I'm not reading a contemporary like that. Like if I'm in contemporary world, it's the darker side of the world. Like it's dark romance or death for me. So that's just like my vibe. Dark romance or death, and there's like. Some authors
There's a quote. It's dark romance or death for me.
I mean, I'm going to put on a show, whatever. It's fine.
Yes.
K.V. Rose does this like incredibly well, right? She's this really good indie dark romance author, and like her books are like, you kind of know that it's angst heavy. Like there's a lot of like mental health issues. There's all this kind of stuff going on. Some of it's just cults and fucking, and that's fine. But like some of it is like really like mental health and like angsty stuff. And
Can't
like
we have both?
I think we read the same type of stuff. I mean, I think our brains are.
But like when I know that I'm going into it, because it's her book, and I know that it's going to be a hard one. Like it's not going to be an easy digestible thing. I'm cool with it. But then like what you're saying with the cry books, where it's like. It's almost like it's really false and forced, like the forced, hey, like I'm just going to drop in like this thing to make it really, really sad, rather than like it's like this really thought out, paced, well thought like device.
Yeah. It's like going in knowing you're going to cry versus going in not knowing and then it happening more, like naturally, like Steph said, like naturally, and it's meant to go with the whole plot, but it's not the only plot of, this is sad.
Yes. Like this, I don't want kids with cancer to be the main plot of the book that I'm reading.
Yeah, I feel like I can't say a whole lot because those aren't the books that I gravitate towards, but I do watch some of the movies and I hate those kinds of movies, so I feel like I can say that
I will not watch those movies.
I
won't. What If It's Us or whatever, those books? I don't know. They looked like something that would make me cry, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, no thank you.
I'll save my brain for smut. Thanks.
I'm bored with that.
Who else wants to share one of their
I'll say one.
unpopular opinions?
I have one that might make everyone angry. I sometimes read the endings of books first.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I do have rules for myself. Like when I let myself do it, I have rules. Like, I only do it if I'm really stressed out about what's going to happen. Like, if it's physically affecting my life and I can't live, I'm like, I'm just going to... Sometimes I just skim the last page to get a reading of the mood. Like, is it sad? Are they happy? And then I'm always glad I do it because it, makes me feel better. Like, I can prepare my mind.
At least you admit to it. I feel like a lot of people will say they don't do that, but it's like, oh, I just wanted to see how many pages there were in the book, so I knew how far to go, and I accidentally saw something.
Page number.
So, I will do it on books that I'm less invested in. If that, like, that sounds so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, like I won't do it on Sarah J. Maas.
No, yeah, I know what you
I
mean.
would never do it on that. I would never do it on a big fantasy where I'm like, I don't want to know if they die yet. I promise you, I do not. And I will, like, so when everybody was talking about the House of Sky and Breath spoilers, I was like, there is no way I will turn to the back of this book. I was, like, scared to look to see if my, like, story was in there at the end. And it wasn't. But, like, I was scared to look for it more thoroughly because I didn't want to spoil the end of the book. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Some books I won't do it for, but sometimes I'm reading something and I'm so stressed about it or something. I'm like, I'm just gonna go and like see.
It's the anxiety. You're just like anxiety riddled. You're like, you have to know.
Exactly.
I don't do it very often. I've done it like a handful of times, but I get why you do it. Like,
yeah.
I have a friend who reads, like, she'll just read things out of order in series, or she'll watch a TV show. She'll just start with season 2. And
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
It gives me anxiety just knowing that she does that. She'll be like, oh yeah, but I didn't watch season 1. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That ain't right.
This hurts me. I love you, but I am concerned.
hurts me,
This is a weird habit.
Yeah.
That would be like if someone said to me, like, oh, I watched, season, like, 2 of Game of Thrones and then the last one, and that was it. And I'd be like, what? Are you well?
It's like an entirely different cast.
Okay.
Are you
The
well?
whole cast is swapped out. That's like 2 different TV shows, essentially.
Yeah, true. I don't understand how somebody could go into Game of Thrones. I accidentally read a second book in a series, and I didn't realize it until like months later. And
Were you
I
so
still can't get
confused?
over. No, that's the thing. I wasn't confused about the story. It was
Weird.
very much like just a normal book, which is why I didn't know it was a second book in the series. And then I found out it was a second book, and to this day I still think about it sometimes because I still haven't read the first book.
Keeps you up at
And
night.
I'm wondering what I'm missing. Like, how could I have read that whole book? Did I read it correctly? Like, I don't...
Yeah, are you missing a bunch of
I
backstory?
don't know, but I still internally feel like bad about the fact that I didn't read the first book. I don't know how people can do that.
I like that you still have guilt about this.
Yeah, it's more confusion and like, am I a bad reader because I didn't pick up on the fact that it was a second book? I don't know. All right, Steph, throw one of your unpopular opinions out there.
All right, I'm gonna throw one in, and I think it's gonna tie into a lot of like what you guys were putting in. I went down a hole recently in the last 2 to 3 years, so it's not like a small hole; it's a deep hole of dark romance, and and I like it there. It's adult and it's smutty and it's great, and that means that now my tolerance for miscommunication in YA is at an
that was one of
all-time
mine.
0. I have 0 tolerance for it.
Oh, yeah.
It just doesn't even
hate it.
feel like it builds the plot anymore. If anything, it just makes me mad. I'm like, I know that the characters are probably, let's face it, somewhere between the ages of like 16 and 18, if it's YA, especially. And yeah, I was like a little shitty teenager. I didn't know how to express myself. But like, sometimes you're like, come on. Like, it would take like 2
I wasn't this
words.
bad, right?
Yeah, and like, it's always the like, oh, mustn't tell anyone this secret. Why?
I know.
For what reason?
You and me.
That's actually a reason why I can't read as much. Like, I'm almost completely done with YA at the moment, or over this last year or so, because of a lot of that. And you know what? Have your miscommunication, have all of your stuff. It's not for me. That's fine. I'm at that place where I'm just like, I'll go down the dark romance smutty hole and I'll just live there. I'll live in the cave with you. It's okay. They can send things down a tunnel from above.
Yeah, like,
yeah, we'll just...
we don't need lights.
Yeah. We don't need light. We need snacks.
You can feel what the story says.
I'm going to throw in one of my opinions because it ties into this. And I think that anybody can enjoy younger books, even if they are older. So like including middle grade, including young adult, if it doesn't have the romance though, because I think that that's where a lot of people tend to, like the miscommunication thing, right? Like it's an issue mostly in young adult books that have some type of romance element where he can't tell the girl that he likes her for whatever reason, or the girl and the guy or the romance, the characters that are in love, boy, boy, girl, girl, whoever it is, cannot tell each other something, and there's miscommunication between them, and that's what causes the drama in those specific genres of YA. But for me, if the book doesn't have romance as one of the main elements, it's still fun because it's like an adventure book. The plot is driven by something outside of love, which is you grow into as you get older, but an adventure is still an adventure. And I think that you can compare it to Disney movies. You can go and enjoy a Disney movie as an adult because usually it's not about like two characters falling in love and doing stuff and being like, oh, this is great. It's usually focused on the adventures the characters take and the journey, and everybody loves a good animated Disney movie. So, my point, middle grade, young adult, I think that they can be enjoyed as an adult, and I will read Percy Jackson
until the day you die.
I was just going to say, it's like the Uncle Rick books.
Yeah, I will read Percy Jackson all the time.
Yeah, I want to agree with you, and I think that, like, when I'm reading, I'm so excited for the moments that I can read those middle grade books to my son, or read them with him, or however I do that. But I'm just kind of a hoe for romance.
Oh,
and, like, if there's not romance in it, I'm not going to be super interested in it. So,
Fair.
like, I think that there are some, and that's the thing, there are some YA books that they don't have those miscommunication and those types of things, and I love them. They're great. Like, I'll read Throne of Glass for days. I'm not convinced that that's fully YA, though. But, like, the first few books of that is definitely YA, and it holds such a special place in my heart. But I'm not going to go pick one up unless I can read. And, like, that's why I've been reading adult books, because I'm just kind of a hoe.
That's my, like, I'm
Yeah,
not
you want
that.
books.
I'm on that train. Like, I think you're right, Dev. I do think that people can enjoy it, dependent on your taste, because I'm the same. As I need a romance element. It doesn't need to be the main part of the story. Like, it can literally be just like an element, but it has to be there somewhere because I'm a basic bitch and I want to see love. Like, in all its crazy forms. Give it to me, like, in all its crazy, like, screwed up, like, let's not even get into the types of love I've now read. Like, I want to, like, all of its forms. It doesn't have to be like the main, but it has to be like involved in the buffet of whatever that story is for me to take an interest. But that I think it's totally like down to your personal thing. But anybody that's like turning around and being like, I can't like a book purely for like its age group, I don't think that's necessarily like right. Like, you can, it's what's involved in the book. Like, don't just like shut it down because it's YA. Like figure out what the themes are and see if they connect to you.
And I think you hit the nail on the head too, to wrap up the main not to wrap up the main topic, but just to cover it again, is that their opinions. It's all about taste. It's all about what you believe in. So yeah, these are our unpopular opinions, but that might not be the case for you because you're different than me and we're all different and we like to argue and start stuff.
I'm all about saying I'm gonna die on a hill.
But I will die on the hill that I will read Percy Jackson until the day I die. So
I
cheers.
salute you.
I have one, and I have actually gotten yelled at on the internet for this opinion, which is fun.
Trolls.
But hot take, I guess, I don't know. I am a Team Aleutian fan. I want, like, Elaine and Lucian. I'm on that team, and I am not feeling the Elaine and Asriel thing. It feels too forced to me. I mean, I even felt this way before the events of A Court of Silver Flames. So,
for everybody who's confused, we're talking about A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Steph, I know you're not fully finished with this, but it's not spoilery because you already know the characters
I know
we're
the
talking
characters.
about. So, yeah, that is a very hot topic.
I said that online once, and then
you're brave. You're brave to bring it up.
I forget what contest. Someone posted something that was like the same. Like, they said that they were that too. So I was like, oh yeah, me too. I don't know. I can't remember. and someone was like, what? Oh my God, you want her to be forced into a relationship where she doesn't love him and stuff? And I was like, I don't want anyone to be forced into anything. I want them to have a chance to like actually speak to each other, and maybe they'll fall in love, and that would be awesome.
Communication.
Yeah, she hasn't even talked to him.
My opinion on this whole ship situation is not that I'm like super into Elaine and Lucian. I actually just literally don't care about either of them. They're just not important to me. I don't like. I know a lot of people really love Lucian. I don't because I just don't like him that much. I like his brother better, to be honest. I like Eris better. Yeah, I think that's it. Is that like I don't like the kick puppy thing that's happening with him. I don't love it.
Wet wipe.
I just like I'm very interested in Az and his whole ship, and the one that I want to go, which
Me
is
too.
the other one, and like I'm totally on board with that. I think it's great. I like the sass, because Az is very sassy. People don't give him enough credit because when he does, he's very quiet, but when he comes in with his comments,
Yeah, he cuts you.
the dude's got some jokes.
I have to say, as someone that's literally still on the third book for over a year, which probably tells you what I think about that series. But I'm surprised that this is even because obviously somehow I'm avoiding the spoilers of the internet. Go me. I'm surprised.
Nice.
I'm surprised that that's even some like a thing that people, because for in my head I thought I knew who he would, like, I don't want to say like, but like, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter to you guys, but like for people that haven't read it, listening, having only read like
Oh yeah, there's a lot
like
then.
the
There's a lot you're
third
missing
book.
then.
Yeah, you've got a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
so we're
good
gonna
luck.
have to go to a different topic of conversation. Let's talk about Rowan's haircut.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so mad about it. I know you love it. I'm super pissed
Okay,
about it.
well, to
I love it too.
wrap up Elaine and Lucian, Steph, read the
Yeah.
rest of the book so that way you can have a full opinion on this.
Yeah, one day.
And
Yeah.
One day.
To everybody else,
You don't even have to finish Silver Flames for that, but Silver Flames, if you like some dark, smutty stuff.
that's
It's good.
exactly
It's
what I
so
told
good.
her.
That one.
That's exactly
Deb's-
what I told
that
her.
book's so deep in my heart.
Pushing me to
I
read
live
it,
for
and I'm
Yeah.
very tempted to just not even finish the third one and just go straight to that one. Like, but that's also a bit sociopath behavior, so I might chill on it.
You'd need some of the ending bits to really feel the pain of the next one. And unfortunately, you need Frost and Starlight, even though I hated that book.
I don't think anybody liked that one. It's kind of just.
I feel like I could do like my terrible behavior I did with the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I read the first two, and then I couldn't be fucked with the third one.
They were not great.
And so I
feel
just
that.
read the last couple of pages just to round. All right, what happened? So maybe I could just do that with that series as well.
Yeah.
I'm a bad.
That's a whole
I'm a
other
bad
deal.
book reader.
Shadow and Bones was a slog.
Yeah, it was not good.
That's probably another hill I'll die on because I'm not a fan of that one.
No, I'll
The Grisha one. I haven't read Six of Crows. I've read the first Grisha verse book, and I'm not.
no.
I have read all of them. The Grisha series, or Grisha, I don't know, hard for me. It was slow, and that was one that I kind of hate read all the way through because I was like, everybody loves these, I have to figure it out. And I came down on a different side than most people. Like, I really like Mal. I was not
Me too.
all in on the Darkling.
I didn't like
I
any
was
of
at
them.
first, and I was like, oh,
I didn't
okay.
like any of them either.
I was like, they're all irritating, and the Darkling, when everyone was like, oh, because the only reason I
Yeah.
read it was for the Darkling, I was like, oh, you're gonna give me some like villain that's like hot as hell, like, yes please, like give me the bait,
Yeah.
like feed me. And then I read him and I'm like, he's basic. He's such a basic
Yeah, it's
villain.
not even anywhere
Yeah.
good. That's one of my other opinions, is that I like Maven better than the Darkling. I would die for Maven, Kalor. I would die for him. I love him so much, and everyone hates him, and I get it. I really do. But I love his character and his complexity and all of his issues. I love him so much. From Red Queen.
Yeah.
I'm the only... I might know one other person who really loves him.
I don't love him, but he's cool. Like, he's a good villain or kind of semi-villain. Like,
I've only read the first book. Shocking.
He's so good. King's Cage is probably one of my favorites, and it's so messed up. Like, I'm like, are you sure this is YA? Because this content is a little bit weird. But I loved it, and I loved him.
I've only read the first book, but I will say that he was like the most interesting character to me.
Yeah, he's very complicated.
Yeah.
I love him. And he gets more complicated, and you find out more, and you're just like, him and Evangeline are the only reason I read that book. Cal
Evangeline.
You want to talk about basic?
I love him, though.
Cal is Tiberius Calaris, the most basic bitch man I've ever seen.
I loved him until a specific part of book 3, and then I was like, oh my god, of course. Like, I knew it, but of course. And then I was like, okay, I guess I still love you. But anyway, to wrap things up, I cannot talk on any of the first 3 Grisha, but I refuse to read them out of saltiness towards whoever, I'm not going to mention any names, told me that I could read 6 of Crows before I read the first 3, and you obviously can't, and so now I refuse to do anything else with that series.
Yeah. But it makes me so sad because, honestly, the 6 Crows duology to me, I'm like, it is incredible. The fact that anybody anywhere would say that the trilogy is better than the duology, I'm like, you're insane. I respectfully want to tell you that you're wrong. Respectfully, no.
I won't even do it respectfully. You're just wrong.
You're an idiot. You're wrong. Respectfully.
I mean, the trilogy is just so slow and blah, but I am glad that I read it first because it gave me a really good magic basis and character information and Easter eggs to find that is what made the duology so much better.
Yeah, and I didn't get any of that.
And with that magic versus the other and the knowledge of the world, you just gain more from the books. So I do, definitely disagree that when the cameos come in and you're like, oh my gosh, it's this character, you're so excited to see them.
Yeah.
And
nope, didn't get any of that.
Those are the moments that made it so wonderful, and you need the trilogy to do that.
Yes.
As much as I didn't love the
and
trilogy.
You all know that I'm that specific type of reader that enjoys the Easter eggs, that enjoys the cameos, that needs to have all of the information, and you literally miss out on a good chunk of world building and history and context. So I went.
Yeah,
into
you
that
got you were done dirty there. Like, you at least needed. I mean, I've not read the third one, but you needed 1 and 2. Not for me. I don't really care that you see other people that you've seen before to get excited. It doesn't I don't mind. Easter eggs aren't that important to me. I enjoy them. Don't get me wrong, but I don't live for them. But you really needed the context of the world that isn't given in the duology because it's assumed that you will have read the other books.
Well, even the whole thing between Nina and Matthias is that entire thing was explained in the first 3 books, the witch hunts and the way that they were going and the different worlds and the way they fit together, the magic systems, all of the different types of magic. And then you're thrown into 6 of Crows and there's one person with magic, so you don't understand the world at large.
I will never not be sad for you.
Yeah, I'm sad for you.
I'm sorry I didn't appreciate those books.
I think that you could reread them all. And you might, but I think you would be so mad reading them that you still wouldn't enjoy them.
Yeah.
I also just think that the TV show was better than all of them anyway.
Okay,
so,
I'll have to watch the show then just to catch up. But if we want to keep moving to our end segment, yeah. All right, Loretta.
Which is me. So we're going to play a game this week, as we always do, and it's going to be What Are They Reading? So I'm going to throw out a name. Most of them are fictional. One of them is not, for funsies. And we're going to discuss what they're watching, movie-wise or TV series, or what they're reading. So first one up is, because we've discussed this already at length, is Noah Centineo from All the Boys I Loved Before.
I'm so dead. Okay, can I give background to this person?
You need to give the story.
To the context. So the context is that we make fun of Noah Centineo because whenever people ask him what he's reading, he only ever mentions 1 book. and
it's like a philosophy book.
And I'm not fully convinced based off of his tweets and his social media that he actually reads.
I don't think he's ever read anything.
So I am I'm convinced that he's probably still reading that one book that he recommends to everybody, which is called Shantaram.
He's on the first page.
Yeah, he's like, this book is so good, and he's only read like chapter 1.
Absolutely.
He skimmed it one
has
time
no
and he's
idea.
like, yeah, I've read this.
Sorry, Noah Centineo, if you're listening, but I'm not convinced you're a reader.
It doesn't
My
sound like
bad.
you're convinced he can read.
I'm not.
One of my favorite pastimes when I'm feeling down is to go to Noah Centineo's Twitter account and read what he's tweeting. Like, they're just so funny.
Wow.
I mean, maybe we need to find a few.
Can we just make that a game? Like, what's Noah Centineo tweeting? But anyway, like, I love him, but I'm also not convinced that he knows what he says most of the time. But anyway, he's reading Shantaram, if anybody's wondering.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
Oh, did you know that there was a contest to win a date with him?
Ew.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that.
That's so awkward.
That's ick.
Chance.
That's a big ick.
Okay, I'm gonna read you a very poetic one, just one,
Okay.
and then we can go on to our next character.
Okay.
Cold showers in Montreal. 2 ellipsis, not 3. Different. No period. Definitely open-ended.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Everybody, please just go read Noah Centineo's tweets.
When did he tweet that? Was it recently?
In January.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even have to go back far. I don't think he's tweeted for a while.
Okay.
It looks like he reposted something a month ago. So, yeah. And it's the
Different.
illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Learn to read. I mean, that's not him. That's somebody else saying that. But
Oh
anyway,
my God.
yeah, he
times.
needs to learn to read.
Okay.
All right.
Continue
Next
on.
one up. I'm very excited about this one. Edward Cullen.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, I know that man has a whole bunch of bookshelves, but like, he is not reading those. He is reading How to Disassemble a Body and How to Make a Grenade. Like, he's reading dark shit in the basement. Guys, it's not poetry in that man's head. It's not. I didn't read Midnight Sun. but
Knowing what I
didn't
do
either.
about Stephanie Meyer and like how she wrote the books, I was thinking that he's
The Book of Mormon.
reading the Bible. Basically.
I was going to say the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be guilty.
he has his little corner where he like,
Crying
sits
over the
there,
Bible.
and he like lights the candles and he reads his Bible.
He's
Like, that's-
crying over the Bible and like
Yeah.
hitting himself on the floor.
When he
like,
sees Bella in her long khaki skirts.
he's like,
And he like thinks he is like, I need to go and I need to read
I've sinned
my Bible.
again by breathing. I must repent.
There was a flash of ankle today. It was too much for me to bear.
But in front
Yeah.
of other people, he would have like a book cracked open of like Edgar Allan Poe or something to be like, look at me, I'm so cultured. And then like, yeah, he just goes and cries over his Bible.
But inside is the Bible.
Inside
You,
is-
cut out
is-
pages.
It's like hollowed out.
Oh my god, that okay.
Bible
This
Testament.
is I also add on here Dracula, but that's even better. He carries around a copy of Dracula, but then he cuts it out and he just puts the Bible inside, and he like like the irony of carrying around Dracula.
This is 100% canon, and I stand by this.
Yeah, this is accurate information.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Okay.
Yes.
The next fictional character is Emorian, or aka otherwise known as Dorian from Throne of Glass, but we have named him
Okay,
Emorian.
I think Dorian is reading Percy Jackson.
Ooh.
I think Emorian is,
That's a good point.
I want to say Edgar Allan Poe, but I don't think it's Edgar Allan Poe because I think he's better than that. I think he's reading like dark smutty. I think he's like reading Den of Vipers.
I don't know. I'm not.
I think he secretly wrote Den of Vipers.
He is still in his early emo stages though. Like, I'm not fully convinced he's that deep into
You're right.
it. Like,
No, you're
What's-
right.
He's
what's your
probably reading
intro
things
emo
he
book?
thinks is
Yes.
emo.
And then because he can't be fully emo all the time because he's not used to it, he like locks himself in his room and watches Legally Blonde to make himself feel better.
He's
And
an
then-
emo in training. He's got his training wheels.
No,
on.
but he's like got copies of Den of Vipers and stuff so that Manon will see them laying out in his tent. And
Yeah,
she's like,
that's
"Why?"
true.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Hot goth girl."
He
come
has
here."
the books, but he's afraid to open them because he read like the first few pages and he's like, "What is this? I'm not ready."
Well, because for him, it's not entertainment; it's a how-to manual. He's like, right,
Yeah, he's taking notes in the margins and flagging pages.
I've got this hot witch that thinks I'm nothing. Okay, like, how am I gonna? What do I do here? Like,
Okay.
I have to be a badass right
Okay,
now.
that's
Let me
fair.
study.
That's fair.
Yeah.
He's reading dark romance, but he's only reading them because he needs tips and tricks. That makes
yeah,
sense.
but like,
Yeah, he's mildly scandalized by
like
them.
the tamer dark
but he's like,
romance
I'm going
entry.
with it because I will go with anything. He once he hits a Morian point in Kingdom of Ash, like he has no holds barred. Like there's no more ceiling for this man. He is just willing to go straight into, like, you could tell him you could do that, but like you might unalive, and he's like, I'm in it, let's go.
Yeah.
Like that he's so rough in that, but like I love it. But, like, whew, he's gone off the deep end on that one. So yeah.
I like to think of him reading dark romance and being scared.
Yeah, that makes
That's gonna
more
give
sense
me
to
joy.
I'm just gonna start thinking
Yes.
that now. That's
Gonna
gonna be
give
in
me
my
I
joy.
like that. Definitely canon.
He's like got reverse harems in there. He's like, how could I be one of these?
He's
Yeah.
taking notes.
He's like, Tal, are you free? You want to like help me? Let's tag
I
team.
want to try
Us too.
something.
I can't even get on those.
No,
two.
no.
It makes me so angry. I don't care what that man's reading. But.
Okay, next fictional character is Roth from the Dark Elements.
My all-time love from teenage years. My God, my heart, my soul.
Yes. What is he reading,
He's
Steph?
great.
Tell us.
You know what? He could read the fucking dictionary, and I would be still like, I would just be like, yes. He could tell me.
Absolutely.
He's reading How to Clean My Snake's Cage and like
Yeah.
AC/DC magazines from the 70s.
Yeah.
He has piled under his bed.
I bet he's like
Absolutely.
a secret like
Rolling
comic
Stone.
nerd or something. Like he would like have like comic books or
Oh,
something. Or like I think he'd be like into that and challenge you to talk shit about it. Like he would be like, come at me, bro. Like
Yeah.
if you even tried.
Oh yeah.
I would do it just to get a reaction. I
Yeah.
have strong feelings for this man.
Non-man.
Oh, I do too. I love Roth.
Oh, I absolutely love him.
Absolutely love Roth.
I just he's wonderful.
In every way.
Yeah, I think he's reading like old issues of Rolling Stone with like AC/DC and that stuff on the cover.
That feels on
and
brand.
maybe some I don't know why I think of him as like a car magazine guy. Like he's not watching YouTube videos. He's flipping through an old like car manual.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He's got kind of that kind of
It's that
he's
vibe.
the vibe
It's
of like machine
Grungy.
and he's grunge.
Like he's 90s. He's 90s grunge. To
like
me.
90s
He's the,
yeah, like he's like Johnny Depp's 90s aesthetic, like just kind of
Yes.
grungy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I love it. Yeah. I'm digging this.
Just died and went to heaven a little bit just thinking about it.
All right, next one is Ronan Lynch. What do we think he's reading?
He's reading all of the mob books and movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
for
also
reals.
goes to the library to check out books on like ghosts and dreams. He's reading up on what dreams mean and meanings.
I was gonna say he's like rereading his old journal entries.
See, I think
reading
that's more of
himself.
a Gansey thing to me. Like I think that
Oh, yeah,
that's
he's
true.
reading his journal and Ronan is like, nah, let's watch The Godfather. Like his favorite movie is like The Departed.
I feel like Ronan would switch between like The Godfather and like hard like mobster stuff and like fan fictions or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
He's on Wattpad.
Yeah, he would read fan fictions.
He's writing them.
And then he has
Rewriting
and then
them.
he has an anonymous account. And he like comments on all his favorite ones. All his favorite ones.
Absolutely. All right, this one will be
That's
Jess's
excellent.
favorite. You can weigh in. Julian Blackthorne.
I think this is the last one too.
Okay, last one.
Last
we're
one.
we're getting close.
Julian, what do we think he's reading?
Julian
Poems he wrote
Blackthorne.
to Emma. Poems he wrote to Emma.
Yeah.
I think he's reading The Art of War.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Cookbooks, parenting books.
Parenting books.
Oh,
Nothing fun.
Steph hasn't read these yet. You will. When you get to these books, you will understand why we say parenting books and cookbooks.
He's reading He's Just Not That Into You, but trying to, like, make himself think it the other way about his friend.
Oh, you would.
You know? He's like, you've got to tell yourself.
This is what you have to do.
Self-help books.
Love it.
We love Julian.
Always good to end on Shadowhunter content.
All right, a good.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. This was so much fun. Next week's topic is for your oral entertainment.
Ooh.
I'm not going to explain because that sounds fun to leave you guessing. Follow us on socials, Instagram, Twitter, all the things. We are at Emo's Girls Guide. We'll leave links in the notes for all the rest of our stuff and to Steph's shop. And join us next week. May your day be blessed with main character energy.
Main character energy!
Yay!
Yay! Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Yay!
you.